Hello and welcome to the B1 Business Visitors Status Application Self-Assessment video, brought to you by ImmigrationEase.com, where affordable, professional quality immigration case preparation is made as easy as 1, 2, 3. Before we dive into the assessment, please click the pause button to read our disclaimer, and then resume the video as soon as you're done. So, you're interested in applying to either extend your status on B1 or you're applying to change status to B1 Business Visitor Visa status. Well, step 1 in the process is to find out if you qualify for a Business Visitor Visa extension in the first place. So without further delay, let's begin the assessment. The first question you have to ask yourself is, are you interested in remaining in the United States for a temporary business purpose? So the key terms here are temporary and business purpose. So of course you have to demonstrate that you're going to remain in the United States for a temporary period, which would be 6 months or less, and for a proper business purpose. So let's discuss some of the possible proper business purposes that are acceptable. So one of the possibilities would be to attend business meetings. Another possible accepted purpose would be to consult with business associates. You could also be planning to come here to negotiate contracts. If you're planning to hire staff or interview staff for jobs, let's just say you're a foreign company and you want to look at some candidates in the United States and you actually want to interview them, you can do that. If you're also planning to purchase or inspect goods or materials or engage in commercial transactions, that is an acceptable business purpose. If you're here to inspect potential business sites, that's also acceptable. And if you're planning to make investments, so that actually usually goes in hand with inspecting the business site if you're planning to make an investment. If you're going to be here to engage in professional training, maybe there's some kind of training that's not available in your home country and you need to continue that training or engage in that training, you can do that. If you're planning to solicit services for a business, that's acceptable as well. If you're also going to be lecturing or speaking at a university, or you're just going to be here for speaking engagements, that's acceptable. If you are going to exhibit or attend a trade show, that is also an acceptable business purpose. If you're going to install or service equipment for a client, for equipment sold by a non-U.S. company to a U.S. buyer. So if a U.S. company purchased equipment from a foreign company and you're here to service that equipment for that foreign company for the benefit of the U.S. buyer, that's acceptable. Or install such equipment. If you're going to be taking orders for a product made abroad, you can also apply for the business extension, business visitor status extension. If you're going to conduct research for the benefit of a non-U.S. institution, you can also apply for a business visitor visa status extension. So, and if you're seeking angel investors for a business idea, or if you're seeking venture capital, these are some of the purposes that are acceptable. So I've discussed several types of acceptable business purposes, and if you have an idea in mind that isn't quite the same but is somewhat similar, you still might be able to apply for a business visitor visa status application in the United States. I'm going to also show you a useful link. This is from the travel.state.gov website. This is from the Department of State, and this is a PDF file which shows you a list of acceptable business purposes for visitors in the United States on B1 status, and it gives more of a high-level discussion of what you can do and what you can't do and what's allowed while in B1 status in the United States. Now I'll show you how I found this. You can simply go to Google, you can search on Google, that is, for business visitor visa, and the first link should be the proper link, which is travel.state.gov/visa. This is for visitor visas, temporary visitor visas, business and pleasure. You click the button here, and then you scroll down and you'll find this overview, and they'll discuss B1 visitor visas, and there should be a link to the types of purposes you can be in the United States, the kinds of purposes you can be in the United States to support your B1 application. So that's how you find it. Let's continue on with the assessment to the next question, which is, will you not be paid any salary or income by a US-based entity? I think that's pretty self-explanatory. No W-2s, no 1099s. You can't get cash under the table. Don't get any money for anything that you do here because you're from a US source, because that is going to be a violation of the B1 business visitor visa status. So you have to demonstrate that you're not going to be paid for any work that you do in the United States. So the next question is, can you demonstrate that you have intent to return to your home country? So that can be demonstrated, for example, if you have a job waiting for you, an employment letter could be something that could work, or if you have a business back there, you can show you have a business account. If you have an address, like a permanent address, you can show a rental agreement, or you can show a deed to the property that you're going to return to. So you show that's where you've settled, that's your place of abode. You can show that you have a family unit. You can show spouse, kids, they're attending schools, things like that. So those are some of the ideas I can give you for what you can use to show ties to your home country. Because sometimes consulates will reject people because they say that you don't have sufficient ties to your home country. And USCIS can theoretically deny cases on that basis too, and say that you need to go back. And they might not grant the extension if you don't show ties to your home country. It is a possibility. The next question is, do you have an unexpired I-94? Of course, if you're going to be applying for a change of status, you have to be on a status. It's like being on a platform. If you've fallen out of status, you're very unlikely not going to be able to apply for a change to B1 business visitor status. There are some exceptions, but in 99.9% of the cases, you need an unexpired I-94 in order to gain that B1 business visitor visa status. Okay, so if you answered yes to all of the above questions we went through, and assuming you have no grounds of inadmissibility, you should be eligible to apply to change or extend your B1 business visitor status by applying with USCIS. This completes the assessment. If you have concluded that you qualify for this extension, for B1 business visitor status application, extension, or change of status, and you wish to apply and you wish to prepare the application, we recommend that you purchase our do-it-yourself kit. Since it's an audiovisual guide where we include and direct you to all of the required materials to prepare your application, you'll never miss a step or be confused. We are confident that you will find our kits to be the easiest to follow and most effective kits available in the market. However, if you are still unsure at this point as to whether you may qualify to apply for the B1 business visitor visa extension or change of status, and you have more questions, then we recommend that you arrange a consultation with an immigration attorney by calling the phone number listed below.